Coming up on the Piedmont News Station, I'm Carter Coyle in Thomasville, where a mother of two is still recovering after her husband allegedly set her on fire earlier this week. What her mother now has to say to the man she believes is responsible.
I'm Mitch Carr in Winston-Salem, and tonight we've got details on a murder that happened where people that live here least expected it.
I'm Fox 8's Jasmine Spencer in High Point. Police are cracking down on counterfeit money criminals. Coming up, the recent arrests and what you need to know to make sure your money is the real deal.
It is going to be a very long road to recovery for Angela Baez after police say her husband covered her in gasoline and then set her on fire.
And I know that she's the same person inside regardless of what she looks like on the outside.
The Thomasville mother of two is still in critical condition tonight. She faces more than a year of surgeries and rehabilitation. Tonight, Angela's mother is sharing her story with Fox 8's Carter Coyle. And Carter, I understand today we learned more about just how badly Angela was injured.
Her mother tells us that Angela's burns stretched from her knees all the way to her head. She had surgery here at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center yesterday and today, but doctors told the family those burns are so bad they really can't even classify the degree because it's so severely deep. They tell her she could be here at the hospital for the next 6 to 8 months.
Oh, it's just like a nightmare. I can't wake up from.
Since Monday night, Patsy Johnson has been living at the hospital, refusing to leave her daughter's side.
But I almost had to learn what life was going to be without her. But I don't want to ever have to learn that.
Her daughter, Angela Baez, is a Thomasville mother of two known for volunteering to help others. Monday night, police say her husband, Portugal Baez, attacked her after an argument, throwing gasoline on her body and lighting her on fire. Johnson says the burns are so severe, her daughter cannot speak or open her mouth or eyes.
That's my baby laying. That's my baby laying there. If I could take her place, I would. But I know I can't, but I'm just looking because I have great faith in Jesus. And I know that each little stepping stone is a step to her going home, no matter how long it takes. And I know that she's the same person inside regardless of what she looks like on the outside.
Angela's physical recovery could take years, but Patsy said for her two teenage granddaughters who witnessed the attack, the memories are haunting.
I don't believe they'll ever get over it, ever.
Johnson says for her, the hardest part is not understanding why.
People want to know, but it's hard for me as a mother to say, he took gasoline and put on my daughter. What I've seen could happen so quickly that nobody would have thought would have happened. Now I say, if you just have an inkling somebody wants to hurt you, woman, you're better than that. Get out of that situation.
Eventually, she says getting away could mean saving your life. Angela's mom and dad say even though she can't talk right now, she can wiggle her toes, so she's trying to answer questions and communicate in that way. Meanwhile, Portugal Baez is still being held without bond at Davidson County. Angela's mom said as far as she's concerned, there is no justice to make up for the suffering her daughter is going through. Live in Winston-Salem tonight, Carter Coyle, Fox 8 News.
And as many of you know, domestic violence is a big problem for so many people. According to domesticviolencestatistics.org, every day in the U.S., more than 3 women are killed by their husbands or their boyfriends. Studies suggest that as many as 10 million children a year witness some form of domestic violence. Domestic violence is the leading cause of injury to women, with more injuries reported from domestic violence than car accidents, muggings, and rapes combined. We are learning more at this hour about a home invasion that left a Winston-Salem mother dead. Sheila Goodson was killed last night during a home invasion on Magnolia Street near South Hawthorne Road. This is in the Ardmore neighborhood. 2 men are now in the Forsyth County Jail facing first-degree murder charges in her death. Fox 8's Mitch Carr is working on this story for us from Winston-Salem. And Mitch, I understand the SWAT team was even called in to help out with this case.
The original 911 call came in at 11:30, and the 20-year-old man that lives in this blue house behind me with his mother said that 2 suspects had broke in and shot his mother and that they were still inside the house. So yes, the SWAT team was here because they thought that there was a hostage situation going on. So right out here in the street, you had the SWAT team's mobile vehicle and you had more police cars than you could even count. They also told neighbors to stay inside. After a few hours, police determined the 2 suspects were not inside, but the body of Sheila Pace Gooden was. Police believe Stephen George Asimos and Daniel Aaron Benson murdered her while robbing the home at 700 Magnolia Street. Both Benson and Asimos are in the Forsyth County Law Enforcement Detention Center facing charges of first-degree murder, first-degree burglary, and first-degree kidnapping and burglary with a dangerous weapon.
All I can say is it's a shocking and horrible thing to hear.
The neighbors we spoke with were beyond surprised. They told us violent crimes rarely keep them awake at night. But with police commotion Thursday night and with details now coming out about this violent crime, there's more to worry about. One neighbor said he's not planning on getting a gun to protect himself, not yet at least.
You know, I've thought about getting one over the years, and something like this makes me think a little bit more about it, but I don't think it pushes me over the edge.
And Fox 8's Chad Tucker has just learned that the victim here, Sheila, worked at the Waffle House at Jonestown Road and 421. We called earlier and the management said that they had no comment. As far as the men accused of her murder, they were denied bail today by a magistrate, and they will next appear in court on November 7th, and they will be in jail until then. Reporting live in Ardmore and Winston-Salem, Mitch Carr, Fox 8 News.
Thank you, Mitch. There could be new hope on the Hill when it comes to raising the nation's borrowing limit. The Republican-controlled House could soon vote on a plan to raise the debt ceiling for another 6 weeks. In exchange, Democrats, including President Obama, will have to talk about ways to lower the country's deficit. One thing the plan does not call for is ending the government shutdown. On the other side, the Senate plan would raise the debt ceiling, reopen the government, and cut a tax on medical devices in the Affordable Care Act. The Senate is expected to hold its first vote on a 15-month debt ceiling increase tomorrow. Of course, the major sticking point of the government shutdown is the Affordable Care Act. So today, our Bob Buckley talked to Congressman Howard Coble on the Fox 8 Morning News about the Republican Party's efforts to defund Obamacare.
The Supreme Court upheld it. You knew the president was never going to sign a budget that defunded his health care, so it seemed like a futile effort on a lot of people's parts to try to do that. Why not just move past the affordable health care and go to the debt ceiling?
Well, when it's overwhelming from your constituents, you're prone to turn a receptive ear to it. That's pretty much what happened.
Now, Congressman Coble says he is optimistic that a deal will happen soon. All right, so where does the country stand when it comes to the Affordable Care Act? Well, according to a poll by Real Clear Politics, more than 48% of those polled oppose this act. 38% of those polled are in favor of it, with 14% not sure how they feel about it. Thousands of dollars in funny money floating around High Point, and now police are getting closer to figuring out who is behind all of it. One arrest has been made, but they need your help making a few more. Fox 8's Jasmine Spencer is live at one of the businesses where this money popped up. Jasmine, how are these guys taking money away from the businesses?
Well, Katie, what they're doing is passing fake money through the system to get change back. So they're buying something as cheap as a pack of gum with a large counterfeit bill and then getting the change back and ripping off lots of local businesses like Red Dot Grocery in the process. What appears to be stacks of cash worth more than $5,000 is really evidence for High Point police. Counterfeit money printed from resume paper.
We've had about 10 counterfeits.
Caroline Duncan with Red Dot Grocery on West Ward Avenue is one of dozens of convenience stores, fast food chains, and supercenters police say were hit by this one counterfeit case.
They normally try to come in and buy a blunt wrap for 69 cents. Some of them will actually ask you just to break it and ask for change.
And if clerks aren't checking the bills.
Yeah, I just make a big X right across the front and back. Takes 2 seconds, and you just put it in.
Businesses lose money.
They will take them and get them up to speed, size them down. They may wash them or do different things to try to get a little bit of the new feel out of them.
This has been going on since June in High Point. Wednesday, police arrested 24-year-old Christopher Simmons at his home where they found this fake money and printers. But they're still looking for 7 others they think were involved.
It's 9:46.
Duncan says at Red Dot Grocery, if a counterfeit bill comes through your shift, it comes out of your paycheck, which is why she always checks every bill.
And it's yellow, it's fine. If it's fake, it comes out black.
And hopes the arrest will stop others from trying to outsmart businesses.
Passing a $20 bill counterfeit for some change, it's really not worth going to jail for. You know, get a job.
And what you saw in the story is just the money that police took from the home that they seized on Wednesday. So that means that there could be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars somewhere still out there that could mistakenly be given to you and I at a fast food restaurant or a gas station. So police say the easiest way to check and see if your money is real is to look at the bottom corner there, check that 20. If you're holding it in the right light, changing it back and forth, it should change colors if you have real money. So a good tip for you on your next way out, going out to eat or something tonight. For now, we're live in High Point. I'm Jasmine Spencer, Fox 8 News.
All right, good information. Thank you, Jasmine. New at 6 o'clock, the city of High Point is making changes that will allow guns in parks. The city has voted to allow concealed weapons in parks and park and recreation facilities. The change is being made to comply with recent state rules allowing guns in parks. While guns will be allowed at parks, there are still some areas where they will be off limits.
Restrictions are swimming pools and the locker room facilities that goes along with it, and athletic facilities when events are going on, when scheduled events are going on.
The city is now working to add new signs letting people know that concealed weapons are allowed. Yes, that is the sound of homecoming on the Winston-Salem State University campus. This is this morning's mini parade. The band used it to warm up for this weekend's big events. Of course, tomorrow, hundreds of people in Winston-Salem will line the streets to show their Ram pride during the school's big homecoming parade. For many people, there is nothing quite like Winston-Salem State's homecoming.
Everything. The festivities, the whole weekend, everything.
Couldn't even just pick one thing she liked about it. For a list of all of the homecoming events happening this weekend, visit wssu.edu.
And a lot of Friday football is happening tonight. It's going to be very nice weather coming up. Take a look. 7 o'clock temperatures around 69 degrees. It'll be muggy, but at least we're not talking about terribly cold weather for the teens as they get together. Stay tuned. I'll have your full forecast for the weekend coming up.
And fall is the best time of the year for a trip to the high country. That's why local business owners are refusing to let the government shutdown keep them closed. A look at the area that's back open for business just in time for the weekend.